And now let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, who has the morning's news headlines. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, ladies. Good morning to you at home. We begin this morning talking about the mass shooting that has occurred in Albuquerque. In a couple of hours, the sheriff is expected to tell us more about 15-year-old Nehemiah Griego, the suspect who deputies say confessed to killing his family. He is now facing 5 murder charges. Sheriff deputies say Nehemiah told them that he was upset with his mother and was feeling homicidal and suicidal on Friday night. They say the 15-year-old took his parents' rifle from their closet and killed his mother, brother, and 2 sisters, as well as his father. They say he then waited for his dad to come home on Saturday morning and shoot and killed him as well. Now, deputies say later that Saturday night, Nehemiah reloaded 2 guns, got in the family minivan, and had planned to start killing people at random at a Walmart. They say he also claimed that he wanted to die in a shootout with police, but instead investigators say Nehemiah told his girlfriend what had happened, went to Calvary Church, where his dad used to be a pastor, and a security guard ended up calling for help.
I've been to homicide scenes. I've never seen a scene quite like this.
There's no other way to say it except that we have a horrific crime scene down there that we're working on.
You have to stop and wonder what made him tick, what made him go off the way he did. What do I have to look for in our kids?
Nehemiah could be in court as early as this morning. The district attorney plans to charge him as an adult. Sheriff officials will hold a news conference at 10 a.m. We will be streaming that news conference live when it happens on KRQE.com. You know, this story is creating more talk about gun control at the Roundhouse, where a relative of the family, Eric Griego, used to be a state senator. The Senate had a moment of silence for the Griego family yesterday. Sheriff deputies say they don't know if the guns used in the shooting were in fact locked up in the home. And now some lawmakers want a law in place that forces parents or adults to lock up guns.
Everything is on the table. So not only just the fact that we would be looking at gun ownership, gun issues, gun regulation, but also gun safety issues, which can be technological.
Putting more laws on the books doesn't necessarily address solving the problem. We want to make sure that constitutional rights and the rights of law-abiding citizens are protected.
Although there is much debate about this, legislators agree that the state and country needs to do more to keep guns away from those who perhaps might be mentally ill. Also on the table this legislative session is a concealed weapons proposal by Roswell Republican Zach Cook. The measure was introduced in the State House last week, and it would expand a 2010 law that only allows concealed handguns in restaurants that serve beer and wine. Now, Cook's bill would make it legal to carry a concealed weapon into bars and restaurants that have full liquor licenses. On another note here, last summer we told you how the city wasn't doing its part to conserve water, and there are many questions as to whether that is still the case. There are 2 intersections where water is being wasted, Louisiana near Montgomery and Osuna and Ridgecrest. Now, we have discovered that the city paid more than $33,000 in fines for wasting water there. And now the city's spending $200,000 to redesign the intersection on Louisiana, hoping to stop its water woes. Now, the city could have paid even more in fines for wasting water, but the Water Authority gave it a waiver on the Louisiana area because the city was working on redesigning it. And finally this morning, don't be alarmed if you see smoke or perhaps hear some blasts near Kirtland Air Force Base this morning. It is just a test. Sandia National Lab says it plans to do these tests until 9 a.m. That wraps it up for your Tuesday morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt, Kristen, and myself every weekday morning on KRQE News 13, beginning at 4:30 a.m. All right, ladies, lots to talk about today, so I'm going to send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Elizabeth.